Everybody a few minutes to get on with us here. Of course, happy Sunday morning. You know, I like bacon, so I say praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Okay.
Anyway, we're here with Killer Bees. They don't know Sunday from Wednesday.
No,
You know,
they
I
don't.
always tell people, they say, do you work on weekends? I said, every day is Christmas and every day is Sunday. It doesn't make any difference to me. The
Hmm.
bees don't care. I can't. I can't
And I
because,
appreciate that.
oh, wow. Yeah, well, thank you. This is Deborah, our new best friend. She has, well, we're definitely her new best friend. She had a National Geographic moment yesterday. Literally. She got to see the swarm come in and move in, unfortunately, to her house and not the neighbors. And
Yes.
right above her front door over here, of course, above the front, they couldn't be over to the side around the
I
back.
know. There's two front doors, and they're blocking both of them with where they're at.
They're just ridiculous. So she's having to climb in through a window to, no, she's actually going around back to get into the house. But so you pulled up yesterday?
I pulled up yesterday, parked my car in my carport, went inside,
Yeah.
and I had my screen door still open, which is glass, and I looked out, and these swarm of bees just start coming in. And so I went to my window, which is right beside, and they just settled right over my other door there, and they stayed there. They spread and they just stayed there. And my family member said a couple of times they had come today.
Yeah.
And I said, but did you see this? And she says, oh, I had not seen that many.
So what I was explaining to Deborah a second ago was what her family had seen before she got home. She saw the whole family move in. Well, before that, what happens is there was a ball of bees somewhere hanging in the neighborhood here, a ball like this in a tree, you know, a swarm, right? Now that, the size of like a basketball, will have 7 to 10,000 bees in it, and they act as an organism,
Hmm.
as one unit. So when they're resting like that, that's what beekeepers always say. They aren't resting. The queen's in the middle, and she sends out apartment hunters in every direction, 50 that way, 100 that way, 200 that way, and they go look under everybody's sheds and in the dog houses and the bird houses and even mailboxes and the eaves of your house,
Hmm.
and they go back and tell the queen what they found.
Hmm.
And somehow she says, that's where we're moving to, and that ball explodes like a bomb and becomes a cloud.
Hmm.
And like I said, they act like an organism. And I have watched a ball like that disappear into a hole like that in 30 seconds,
Oh my.
like somebody pouring liquid in.
Mm.
And so yesterday, Deborah had a little National Geographic moment here and got to see the swarm. Now, I'm looking at them over here, and you'll see in a second, everybody. And if anybody has any questions or whatnot, we're not even suited up yet. We're going to get fully suited, so stick with us. It's the usual stuff. You guys see us do it all the time. Uh, they're holy shit busy over
Yeah,
here.
that's
They
all
are
very
holy
active.
shit busy.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Now, good news, you have not seen any bees inside the house.
No.
Very straightforward. Like I told Deborah on the phone yesterday, for a horrible situation, you actually have a best case scenario because they just moved in. They haven't been there for 6 months or a year.
No.
And thank God, because then they can build comb and it cause so much damage. And then we have to tear out ceilings and whatnot.
Oh my.
Yeah, oh my, right. So this is very straightforward because what we do is what we call a nuke and seal. We're here to mitigate the threat. We're not relocating bees.
Hmm.
Um, People do ask us all the time, "Are you going to relocate my bees?" And I have to tell them it would be like taking a landmine from your yard and putting it in someone else's because they're all killer bees. So that's a different service we provide. If you have somebody you really don't, more expensive. But that's no anyway. You guys know me too well. Um, so we're going to kill the bees and seal up the holes and the cracks and all that stuff. Very straightforward for us. This
Hmm.
is like I told you on the phone, the safest, least expensive, easiest to guarantee everything about it.
Hmm.
You nipped it in the bud. Thank
Okay.
God. Now I do want to explain that, as you can see, they're just all over the place.
Hmm.
After we leave, there's still going to be some flying around. Of course, it's like herding cats. You're not going to get them all.
Hmm.
And so when after any war with these guys, there are bees left over. And we call those remnant bees.
Hmm.
They're remnants of the hive. But they're like an amputated limb. Okay, you can live without your finger, but your finger can't live without you.
Hmm.
So you're going to have the finger up there. I'm going to let you decide which finger. Anyway, I told you we were horribly irreverent. Everybody's used to me. So, but they're not going to be aggressive. The queen is gone.
Okay.
She's the heart and soul of the matter.
All right.
We're Also, people always ask, are my remnant bees going to go find a new place to live? They can't. Every hive is an enemy of every other hive. The only reason the bees visit each other, steal honey. Oh, they're Vikings. They're horrible. They're just horrible. And so they are pretty much screwed, the ones that are left over. They're going to ball up somewhere up there. And this is really indicative. Come on, Hosh. We got Hosh on the camera, of course. Say good morning, Hosh.
Hey, everybody.
We got a few people with us?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, good. Good morning, everybody. How many folks we got with us on TikTok? We got YouTube?
We got about 600 on TikTok and
Right on
YouTube 20. Yeah.
All right, right on. Sometimes we'll have 30, 40,000
Wow.
people come with us on bees.
You see how I'm staying back? You guys go ahead now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. No, smarty pants here. I don't like that. So anyway, I want to show you guys this, and I know you can see it. And this is very indicative of a new move-in. I'm not going to get too much closer. Can you see that? Can everybody see all the bees flying around?
Man, they are active.
You see how damned active they are?
Wow.
That's a big case of holy shit right there. We don't want to get in trouble without the bee suits on. Duh. Can everybody see that? That's indicative of a new swarm moving in. Well, they moved in yesterday.
Yeah.
So they really aren't quite sure where their front door is. They're all the way over here. They're all the way over here. Because they have not landed enough times at their new front door to leave a welcome mat by staining it. And so they're very landmark oriented. So everything looks the same up there, just like it does to us. All those holes, everything looks the same. And of course, it has to be right above Deborah's two front doors.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's got her
right?
door there.
Yep, a door there and a door there. And she cannot go anywhere. So,
Yeah.
So, holy cow, guys. Well, let's go get
So
some.
did she tell us which
No,
bird hole it is?
I don't think she knows.
We're going to have to
Yeah, we're gonna have
figure
to
it out.
Yeah, we'll have to ascertain that. We'll have to figure it out. We'll have to, no shit. So come on along, everybody. Welcome to the hive. That's right. Everybody knows I'm Reed Booth, Killer Bee Guy. We got Hosh on camera and in bee suit, and yeah, we're in a.
Let's get going.
I love this old deal. Let's get going. Yeah, let's get this show on
All
the
right.
road. Get our
So usually we like to suit up before we,
start.
before we start the cameras, but today's a little different. So we're gonna talk about some basic concepts here.
Yep.
Number one, what are killer bees, Reed?
Oh, they're horrible. I hate them. They're mean. They're just mean.
They're just mean. That's right.
That's just mean.
The bottom line is they're mean. They're hyper aggressive, and so we exterminate. We don't relocate killer bees.
No. Nope. So they were actually created. That's right. Now it is Sunday, the Lard's Day, since I like bacon, and they were created, but not by the lard. By the other end, I think.
Yeah.
They were created by scientists, actually, in 1957 in Brazil. And they were, why the hell were they created, you ask? That's a really damn good question, everyone. Because European honeybees, our nice little honeybees, are really not very good producers of honey in jungle conditions, especially, and very sickly. And so the pure African bee, South African bee actually, or they're an East African savanna honeybee, they were known to be excellent producers of honey and super disease resistant. So they make up to twice as much honey and super disease resistant. I got the old bee suit, everybody. So they thought, well, hell, just like people do, let's crossbreed them and we'll make a bee that makes a lot of honey and is disease resistant. Well, that worked. They certainly are. What we didn't see coming, well, I didn't have anything to do with it. What they didn't see coming was they were going to be so damned aggressive. And so that was a trait that unforeseen, unwelcome, and we're seriously stuck with it now. They also do everything better than a European bee. Absolutely. Would you go tell, do you want to, Deborah, you want to get on YouTube? You can watch us live. Deborah's never seen our YouTube channel, guys. I told her we're horribly irreverent. We swear like sailors in bee suits. So Hosh is going to go over and help her get
My neighbor over here says, you want to watch us live on YouTube?
get on. She can watch us too. So you guys get to say hi to Deborah. Is she going to get on?
My neighbor, I'm not coming out.
Well, your neighbor's smarter than some of us. That's for damn sure. So are you going to watch us on YouTube?
I probably could do that on YouTube.
Yep. Well, you just go to YouTube and go to Killer Bee Guy.
Let me get Helga.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna.
I guess I'm
Deborah's
gone.
gonna watch us, so she can watch in the safety of her home. When are you gonna make some popcorn and whatnot? She says, "No, you."
Oh boy.
I'm gonna have some honey popcorn, kettle corn. So we'll let Deborah get on with us, and so yeah, we're getting suited up. So I was explaining to everybody where these killer bees came from. Well, they escaped out of Brazil, and they came north. They got into Arizona in about 1991. So we've been living with them for a long time.
Too long.
I like how Deborah thinks. Yeah, too long. Yeah, 5 minutes is too long, and you've only been one day into it, and it's too long.
Yes, it's been one terrible yesterday. I had to take some medication to calm down.
I understand completely, and I don't. Yeah, that we're here. I'm here for you.
I'm glad you.
We're gonna take care of Deborah.
Okay.
We do this all the time, so you're in good hands.
I don't know if I bee removal. Am I at you now?
Yeah, where am I here? You know what? I don't have my glasses on. Hosh,
Oh,
Yeah.
can you help Deborah get on so she can watch us on just like you guys are? Watch us on YouTube. And so, so the killer bees, everyone. They got into Arizona in about 1993, actually, in Texas in 91. And so they immediately took over. Well, immediately in a number of years. By about 1998, it was determined that all of the unmanaged feral hives in the state of Arizona were genetically Africanized. And now they're going north. And I'm sorry to say, guys, but people always ask, are they in my state? You know that, Deborah, people ask me, are they in my state? That's a big question that we have. And I tell them that if they're in a state of denial or confusion, yes, they're definitely there.
right there with you.
Right there with you. So
Denial is not a wonderful place to be.
yeah, denial and confusion combined. Oh my God, killer bees everywhere. But they're in all the lower 48 states. In fact, they killed a beekeeper in Connecticut. We had a stinging incident in New Hampshire, of all things. Yeah, isn't this lovely? No. So anyway, all right, were you able to find us?
I got you right now.
Oh, she's watching.
We're waving and watching. I'm
She
on
just
delay.
can't get enough of us. She's gonna have her fill of us here in about an hour. All right, so are you gonna wait in your vehicle?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to my vehicle.
Okay,
It's
now
a nice
if you hear what sounds like a little girl screaming, it's both of us. Never mind.
I scream all the time.
You go ahead. I'll listen.
All right, hon. We'll talk to you in a little bit. All right.
All right. So yeah, we don't relocate. We exterminate. These things are deadly. Like they
Honeymoon's over.
could easily. I hate to say it, but I mean they could really hurt this woman
They can hurt us.
and whoever else is coming in and out of this
You don't
house.
have your net on yet.
I'm gonna put it on right now. Yeah, they're real active.
I just
That's
bring him for
crazy.
bait. That's all I bring him for.
Verbatim.
Verbatim. Oh my God, we got the big blues. Everybody, gonna put those on, and
Let's figure out which soffit they're in.
yeah, exactly. Which I think they're in one of the bird holes. You know, the bird holes around all of these roofs are for ventilation because you know what, to get condensation. Even though we live in the desert, condensation and whatnot can happen. You need ventilation like that because you don't want any mold in your attic and whatnot. So they have screens on them normally. These vent holes, and the birds love them. They poke the screens out, go in, make a nest, then the bees take over. So normally even construction guys around here don't call them vent holes, they call them bird holes, you know, because that's what happens. And well, nowadays the bees move in, so I like to call them bee holes. Okay, I'll leave that one lay. All right, anyway, I'm gonna have to start.
Leave it lay.
My damn beard is getting too long. I mean, of course, you got yours all braided
Oh,
up
I've
and
always got to tuck it up
you
inside.
tuck it up. And this, I'm gonna have to start doing something with this because
Yeah.
it's getting. See, I'm kind of growing
Get
this
your
out
stinger. Get your stinger on.
in the interest of maturity. I'm gonna have to start wearing two of these and pull it down like this so I don't get caught in my zipper and whatnot. There we go. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna get another one of my do rags here. Get one of my don't rags.
All right.
Better have another one. What the hell are they doing?
Well, the first thing is going to be to see which one they're in. Of course.
Yeah, well, you can go up and take a look. I'm
Yeah?
about ready. Yeah.
All right, here we go, gang.
All right. Here we go.
So, my suit is still covered in honey from the other day. So we'll see what happens. Oh. Well, man, that's a lot of bees, Reed. And they have not moved in. They have not moved inside.
Really? Is the ball up?
Yep. Huge, actually.
Huh?
Huge ball.
Well, thank you, but what's going on with the bees?
Very big. There's a lot of bees here, Reed. I haven't seen a swarm this big in so long. I mean, I know technically this is a hive at this point.
So we're going to need a bucket, spray adhesive.
Yeah,
I'm going to take a look, too.
yeah. It's
I feel manly enough with my armor.
you know, now this, I fully expect us to see a lot of this season. Look at the size
Oh, yeah,
of
it's a
this
swarm.
thing.
Wow, look at that. Just moved in.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Now, I'm so glad that Deborah got us on this because many people, and guys will see it over and over again. Oh, you see the screen is torn out?
Yep.
They're going to move in within the
Yep.
next hour.
Yep.
I guarantee it. They're going to move right in there. This is
Yeah.
so opportune, so perfect.
Yeah.
Because most people would wait up to a week thinking they might go away. And then they would go into that screen. I'm going to get a ladder so I can show everybody.
Yeah.
So they would go into that
I'll grab
screen
one.
and disappear. And there wouldn't be very many. And so people would think they left. Now, these guys are aggressive. They're on the phone. They're actually aggressive for having just moved in. It used to be that the newer the hive, the less aggressive they were. Like a ball of bees hanging in a tree or hanging like this wouldn't be aggressive at all, actually. In fact, I didn't used to wear a suit doing them. But now, that's what killed Dan Oldfield over in Bisbee a couple of years ago, my good buddy. They're just horrible bees. And so I'm really glad that Deborah called us to take care of this for her because that is deadly. There's enough bees right there. That's 7,000 to 10,000 bees right there. And there's enough bees there to kill a bunch of horses because it only takes 500 stings to equal a rattlesnake bite. 500 stings, 7,000 to 10,000 bees.
Do you want to go against the side of the house?
I believe so, as long as I'm not going to get in trouble with the paint or the...
Right.
We can actually move the...
here. I mean, we could do this.
we can move that planter thing
Yep.
off to the side a little bit.
Yep.
And so that we have more, so we don't damage or anything. There we go. Oh, there you go. That's perfect. All right, guys, take a check. Come on up the ladder with me, everybody. Here it is. Look at that. Whoa, let me get my hands figured out. We'll get stable. Wow, look at that, everybody. Look at that, everyone. That's a big case of holy shit right there.
And of course, once they decide to become a hive, once they decide to, goes from a swarm to a hive, that's when the hyper-defensive behavior starts.
Look at it.
Really
We have
kicking in, right?
we have BSMR going on here, not ASMR.
Oh, good.
Boy, the camera's acting really beautiful. That is a great close-up of them. I hope it doesn't get blurry.
We're going to treat this just like a swarm.
Yeah, we'll get the spray adhesive, the Fendona, and a bucket. Isn't that just cooler than hell, guys? I'm so glad you guys get to see this because, people don't get to see this from the safety of their home, I mean, this is really cool. I got to show you guys again because this is they're deadly and they're beautiful and they're kind of like me. Okay, all right, already. But look at that. And they all act as an organism. And you see how they're all moving kind of fast, talking to each other. They're wiggling. They're talking to each other. Now there's the hole right there. You see that where that screen is torn out? That's why they're there. They're gonna disappear into that within the hour. I've seen it 1,000 times. Now the screen right next to it is not out. You see that, everybody? This screen is. The bird poked a hole. And these guys, wow. Absolutely fascinating. All right, I'm going to let you guys focus on this just for a second without me talking. You guys can hear the hum. Can everybody hear the... That's solid bees. They're all hanging on to each other, everybody. Isn't that just amazing? Okay, can everybody hear me okay? I'm not getting any thing on YouTube here. But we are live. You can hear it? Okay, great. Thanks, guys. Thank you. It's hard for me to see the comments, but keep commenting, you guys. We'll answer as many as we can. Kevin, before we knock them down, I just want you guys to hear. Now, these guys are not super agitated yet. That's what we don't want them to be. You know what I mean? Wow. This is really neat. You guys get to see this. Wow. Killer bees. They're all killer bees in the state of Arizona. Deadly. Now see, back in the day, like I was saying, I wouldn't even wear a bee suit. I would do it with a bare hand. And I would reach in to the middle of it and cup where I thought the queen was. And with European bees, when they had nice bees. And if I had her in my hand, then I'd have the ball of bees on my hand. It was cooler than hell. Not anymore. They are deadly. Once they sting, it's the attack pheromone that once that's let loose, then they all turn into, the analogy I use is they all turn into white blood cells. So I'm going to let Hosh get up here and do the deed. Hosh is all licensed up now, everyone. So you want to make sure that everything is working on this as far as sound
Yes.
and everything. I think it is on
All looks good.
both of them.
Yep.
All right, cool. You want to go up and show everybody?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
such a cool, rare instance. Usually, they've already moved in when we're doing stuff, and so people don't get to see such a really cool close-up.
Yeah.
DSMR.
Yeah, it's something. Wow. Okay.
All right, you want to hand me that? So what we're going to do now, and I'll explain what we're doing. Okay, so Hosh is going to, what we do, and you've seen us do it 100 times, everybody. We're going to coat the outside. So that's like an onion. And remember, there are 7,000 to 10,000 bees there. Now, Deborah actually saw them come in, really cooler than hell, like a cloud. And they all balled up there because they act as an organism, which is what they are. They act as one unit. So we want to stick them together so that when we apply our pyrethrin, okay, we just use a spray adhesive. Do not try this at home, you guys. No DIY here, okay? And so we coat the outside. I'm going to stand back because I hate getting that shit on the lens. So we coat the outside like with this spray adhesive, glue, so that when we put the pyrethrin in the middle, now pyrethrin is a pesticide made from chrysanthemum flowers.
Tell me when, Reed.
That looks pretty good, actually. We'll just let it air out a little bit. Now, so that's coated. Hold on, is that aired out enough? I just want to show everybody. All right, now he's going to take his magic wand and stick it in there and give it a 3 or 4 squirts, and we're going to get our bucket and we're going to catch as many as we can. So there's less of them for Deborah to deal with on the ground. Now, yeah, go ahead and keep squirting them. I'm going to stick this in here and start catching them because they're going to start dropping. So this is pyrethrin. See them dropping, everybody? See, it's working really well. See? So we're killing them. These are killer bees. There's no honeymoon about it, no romance. All right, so we're going, about 2 to 3 second bursts.
We're probably good on that, right?
Yep, I think we are. Have you got your spray adhesive still? Mm-hmm. All right, let's go ahead and, okay, I got it. Yep, I got it. So now, all of these bees that are flying around, they are going to come back. I'm going to stand back. You got that?
Yep.
Because I don't want to get spray adhesive on the lens.
They started building right there.
Oh my God.
They were not moving in.
There's comb already. They started building.
Yep.
In one day. That's how fast these guys operate. So we'll sweep these bees up. Now, all of the bees that are flying around are called remnant bees. Most of them are going to come back to that exact spot because that's home. Now, you will see that they're flying all along the gutters and whatnot here. That is because they're very landmark oriented, and this all looks the same to them, just like it does to us. This brown gutter looks the same all along. These eaves all look the same all along. So what we're doing is we're going to keep knocking them down with the spray adhesive, the ones in the air, which really works really well because it knocks them out of the air. And they, if they aren't flying around, I don't care. It's when they're flying around that they can be deadly. So all of these bees flying around are going to come right back to this spot because that is all they know, and they are individual cells of that organism. So they're going to be balling up, and we're going to keep knocking them down. So these are our bees that we've knocked down, mitigating the threat, like I said. And so Hosh is going to keep doing this right here. Let's. Can you take this and show everyone the comb?
Sure will.
This is so weird, guys. One day, this is how fast they build. This is sci-fi. This is total sci-fi. There you go.
Yep.
Check this out, guys.
Yeah, so the first thing, you're going to see two things up here, everybody. The first thing is those little white nubbins, right? That's the, kind of the foundation. They will start hanging comb off of that. And then, of course, you've got that little bit of honeycomb right here that they've put up.
They actually built a little honeycomb. Good.
Yep. Started building the cells out. But yeah, the nubbins, that's telltale right there. They were setting up shop here.
Yeah, they weren't going anywhere.
Yep.
Well, they weren't going to go in. They always go into the hole.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
it's funny really that they started building there on the porch instead of going inside.
Yeah, I've seen it
But
before.
there it is.
And what we're going to have to do is scrape that
Yes.
down. We don't want to put the black undercoating on there
No.
because it's too gnarly. We don't.
I
We
did
only.
bring some, I brought some pheromone over.
Okay, we can squirt it with pheromone for sure. Wherever those white nubbins are, we'll scrape those down because they, like I was telling Deborah yesterday, wherever they land, even if it's just for a little bit like that, all those white nubbins are beeswax. That's what they are. They're like the foundation to what they're going to build the comb from.
Yeah, and I'm going to put the lid on this.
Yeah, put a lid on it.
You bet.
So
So have them take a look at that. Look
Yeah,
at,
yeah,
look
it's
at all
showing.
those-
Yep, so we've mitigated the threat, and they're going to die off. Now, we usually, as you guys have seen 1,000 times, we coat it with the automotive undercoating. That's, it's like tar, aerosol tar. It looks ugly. We only use that where it's not going to be unsightly. We're not going to do that here. And so, but what we are going to do is we're going to scrape down that where the comb was, where they were starting to build. Everybody can see the little white nubbins. That's beeswax. So that was home. They were here. That's all there is to it. And then we're going to give it a squirt with that pheromone, the anti-pheromone. Pheromone just smells. And we use this pheromone that bees hate. And so we give that a squirt with it so it'll soak into the wood.
Yeah. What else?
Now, don't get that in your eyes. Do not get that on your skin.
Yeah.
It is, even though it's food grade. So this stuff that we use is used by beekeepers. It's really expensive, but it works really well. And so you're just going to give it a little bit of a squirt. It doesn't take much. He's scraping it down right now.
Yeah, getting all those nubbins
Getting
off.
all the
of there.
nubbins off.
Yeah.
All right. Just getting rid of the evidence, right? As much as possible. Then he's going to give it a squirt with that. Now, this pheromone smells like almond. Smells like marzipan. Really is awesome. And it's actually food grade. And so we're going to squirt it with that. And then that will soak into the wood, and bees absolutely hate it. So you know what, Hosh? Before we spray that stuff,
Yes.
let's give these remnants just a few minutes to
to ball up.
if they're going to.
Sure.
They may ball up somewhere else along the eaves here. You
Yep.
never know where the hell they're going to ball up,
Okay.
unless we knock so many of them down that they're.
I don't think so, though. I think there's a lot of them scattered, so.
Yeah, there are.
Yep.
So let's give it a minute. We'll
Okay.
give it a minute.
Okay.
So maybe we can even get in the shade here and answer a couple of questions or something, you guys, huh? Yeah, something like that. Wow, enough bees there to kill the entire neighborhood, actually. So,
Yeah,
can you see any comments and whatnot
Let's
going
see
on
here.
there?
Yeah, let me see what we can do.
Right on. Beautiful Sunday morning here, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, what a ton of fun. Mitigating the threat is a ton of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So the question, smoke. Smoke doesn't work.
Yeah, well, these killer bees, they don't care. They just don't care about smoke. I haven't used it for 13, 14 years. Unless there's, I got a National Geographic film crew or Discovery or somebody around, and then it looks nice, right? Smoke. These killer bees just don't care about smoke. So I stopped using it. It takes too long to get it out every single time, every job. I mean, sometimes in the summer, well, it was just the other day, Hosh, we were out to the slaughter ranch, and then we had a job over here in Sierra Vista, so we put like 200 miles on that day and still had jobs. So I don't use smoke anymore.
Or soap water.
Yeah, well, soapy water?
Yeah.
And now that does work. Excellent question, everybody. But, and you'll see, like, if you watch the old Discovery Channel show that I did, Risk Takers, it was a great show, by the way. It was about 15 years ago, and I look exactly the same. No, really. Anyway, I got my power washer, hosing them down. I got way too many complaints from customers about the mess. I mean, way too many. So I stopped using soapy water. What I've done is distilled it down over 30 years of doing this into the smallest amount of stuff to carry to a remote location and less stuff to trip over. People are like, why don't you use a vacuum? Well, it's honestly more stuff to trip over, and we could have sucked those bees up into a vacuum, right? But if they're flying in the air, and I've tried this even with a super duper vacuum and a wide mouth on it, they avoid the suction. They're so smart. They avoid the suction.
Yeah. Why are you killing them? Aren't they endangered, Reed?
Well, that is a really good question, actually. Really good question. We're always talking about save the bees, right? Wait a minute. Which bees? Which bees should we save? Now, besides talking about Africanized bees, killer bees, let's talk about our nice honeybees. Okay, let's see. What were they called? European honeybees, right? They were called, right? We grew up with them. Wait a minute. They're called European honeybees, not Midwestern honeybees. European honeybees. They're not Southwestern. They're not Alabama honeybees. They're invasive to the Western Hemisphere. No, these bees are not endangered. Honeybees are not endangered. Bumblebees are because of these guys. So honeybees are invasive to the Western Hemisphere. No, we don't need them to live. Big agriculture needs them to pollinate the crops that we buy. Absolutely. But people lived in the Western Hemisphere for eons without honeybees. The Europeans, the settlers, came and brought them into the East Coast in the early 1600s. There were no honeybees in Arizona, until 1872. That's right, 1872. So it's this perpetual lie that's been gone on and on about how we're going to die without the honeybees. That's bullshit. All right, and our native plants, all of our native plants, do not need honeybees for pollination. In fact, they do worse. They need our native pollinators. And a problem with honeybees is that they are not only invasive, they're like the buffalo grass of the insect world, but they compete, especially killer bees. They are horrible because they compete. They're so good at what they do that they compete with for pollination, for food source, and for housing, and are driving to or near extinction a lot of our native pollinators. That's right. I'm sorry to say it, guys. So, they always say, well, if you want to help the earth, keep a beehive in your backyard for pollination and shit. No, in the Western Hemisphere, it's the opposite. You do not want to do that because those bees are competing with native pollinators for food source and housing. If you want to keep mason bees, they're native. Hell yeah, put up one of them little mason bee condo things, They're awesome. Do that. Yeah, absolutely. Digger bees, they're awesome. I love the leaf cutters, those are all native. So it's been misleading all of these years, and it's shocking for people to learn.
Well, what are native pollinators?
Native pollinators are, there are over 1,000 different species in this northern Sonora desert. We have the highest different concentration of different types of species in the world, along with a desert in Israel. We're on the same latitude. And so for some reason, the high desert Everything loves the high desert, whether it's birds, mammals, insects. We have such a biodiversity here, it's ridiculous. Some of the best birding in the world is right here at Ramsey Canyon, Whitewater Draw, Slaughter Ranch, Cave Creek, Portal, Arizona, right here. And along with insects. So our native pollinators, they don't make honey. No, only honeybees make honey, but they are invasive to the Western Hemisphere. So our native pollinators are mostly solitary bees. They mostly live alone. Bumblebees, a lot of wasps, leaf cutters, digger bees. There are 1,000 different species. And so it's very fascinating once you start looking at it. And they are not aggressive. So these guys are totally invasive. They do not belong here. And on top of the European honeybees being horrible, these killer bees are 1,000 times worse because they will kill off, they will actually fight and kill native pollinators on flowers to compete for the nectar. They're total Vikings. They will fight and kill each other from different hives because every hive is an enemy of every other hive. And so like I was telling Deborah a little while ago, she's going to have some bees flirting around even after we leave. Absolutely. Happens every single time. It's like herding cats. You're not going to get them all. And so the bees that are left over, though, from this job or from any job are called remnant bees because they're literally remnants. They're leftovers. They're leftovers of the hive. And they are like an amputated limb. So you can live without your finger, but your finger can't live without you.
Look, they're balling up over here.
Oh, there we go. Now, what did I say about landmark oriented? Right? Watch out for that window, Hosh.
Yep.
On your right there. You don't want to, with your ladder.
I see it.
You don't want to lean on that, it'll crack it.
Yep.
And I'm not into window replacement right now. Ha! So, what was I saying about landmark oriented, right?
Yes.
Well, you never know where they're going to land, but they just happen to decide to land right there. Awesome. That makes it a lot easier. We're going to give it a few more minutes, answer some more questions, because these guys will, all these bees that are flying around, will go up there because they are part of the organism. They're like an amputated limb, and they're all individual cells, and they're going to gather up there and go, who the hell were those handsome masked men?
Yes.
What is going on? And so that'll give us a chance then to take our spray adhesive, knock them down. The ants will get them on the ground. And so we've mitigated the threat. We're at about the 85% level here for Deborah. And we're going to, finish up with this anyway. And then I didn't want to put that pheromone on yet that smells like almonds because it would have scattered them too much. And they would not, it spreads, the smell spreads out in the air and they would have been too confused. This is much better to have them ball up in the next spot so we can knock them down. It's just less for Deborah to have to think about for the next couple of days.
Now somebody's asking, can they see the queen? Can we see
the
queen?
It's a great question. People always ask, did you find the queen bee every single time? And I have to tell them, now with a swarm like this, the queen is in the middle somewhere, all right? And there's only 7,000 to 10,000 bees, only. With a normal hive, we got 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 bees. So the queen is incidental. She does not matter once the rest of the hive is gone. Now this was a hive, this was not a swarm. They'd started to build comb already. So people always ask, did you find the queen? And I have to tell them, look, I got 100,000 of these things trying to kill me. I'm not looking for one. Not going to happen. So the analogy I use is like our bodies, our human bodies. So remember the amputated limb analogy. That's what these guys are. Well, the queen is the heart and the brain of the matter. Now, your heart can continue to live if you don't have any arms and legs, right? But if you start amputating too much of the body, your heart can't live on its own is what I'm getting at. Your heart cannot, like everybody says, won't the queen go start a new hive somewhere? Your heart can't go without you and start a new human. Your finger, if it's amputated, can't crawl off in the corner and make a new human, except in some really cool horror stories. So, no, the queen, we don't ever see a queen bee. It's a moot subject with us, actually. She isn't that much different. She is beautiful, and she's bigger, and she's svelte, but who cares? I mean, she has the little, tiara and the wand and all that shit, but who cares, No, we don't care about that. We're here to mitigate the threat. It's all out war, as you'll see in a lot of our other videos. Look at, do we have one of them pinned, a pinned vid? Was that the World War B?
World War B is pinned on TikTok.
Pinned on TikTok. Okay, great. Look up World War B on YouTube, you guys, also. It's a big, or Portal to Hell. Look up Portal to Hell.
Portal to Hell is also
Oh my
pinned
God,
on
you'll
TikTok.
see how it can get and why we don't care about individual queen bee. And also, we're just too busy. In a normal summer, we'll get 10 to 15 calls a day and put on 200 to 300 miles, go out rescuing everybody from the fire department, the police department, sheriff, individuals like Deborah here, ranchers, whatever, you know, the border, everything, everybody. We rescue everybody.
Yeah.
So we're just giving these guys, how's it looking over here, Hush? Are they gathering up? I'm going to scoop a few more of these.
Yeah, a little bit more. I think I can just spray them down. It'd be nice if we had a broom out here.
Yeah, well, we can, if she has a hose, we'll hose these guys down.
Right.
Hoser. All right, I'm going to just get a handful of these things and put them in our 5-gallon bucket. Our tub is gone.
Yeah, it's in the back of the truck.
That's all right. We'll just put them in here for now.
All right, you want me to just get up there and start spraying those down?
Yeah, you want to hand that to me?
Sure.
All right, guys, you're stuck with me again. So Hosh is going to go up now, and where the hell are they?
Next one over. See.
Oh, yeah, see? Look at them. They're gathering up there. Oh, broom against the wall. Oh, right there.
Great.
Right there in front of us.
Perfect.
All right. All right, well, you know how expensive gas is. Hey, Deborah, you know how expensive gas is? I'm riding this to work. Anyway. So, we can sweep up her bees now,
Yeah.
so. Anyway,
Now we need to put the pheromone up there too.
yep, so we're going to let Host give that a squirt, and all these remnant bees will ball up somewhere, but they will die off over the coming
and I
days.
got my eye protection on. So.
Good. And yeah, and you don't want any on your skin and your face either. Now, even though it is technically harmless and it smells like almonds, it is so concentrated that it burns like a son of a gun if it gets on your skin. And so you don't want that. It'll wash off and everything, but you know, tears are flowing and words are uttered. And so he's just doing that, and then in the next one over where they were, was that where they were? And you don't.
They were here.
Okay.
Yep.
And you don't need to give it too much, just a couple of squirts.
Yep.
So that takes care of that. And yeah, this is really good. We've mitigated the threat. We made it safe for Deborah and the entire neighborhood. I'm still going to tell her to give it the rest of the day before she uses the front door, which I don't think she'll have any problem with. And beautiful Sunday morning here in Sierra Vista. Like I was telling Deborah, she was like, oh my God, I know it's the weekend, but can you make it? I'm like, every day is Wednesday and every day is Christmas. Doesn't make any difference to us. The bees don't care, and neither do we, because we're here to help people and rescue them from these deadly monsters. And I'm not talking about Hosh. So, anyway. Or am I? Anyway, so, all right, guys. Wow, ton of fun. Now, if anybody wants to buy some honey, of course, please go to killerbeeguy.com and get some honey. I actually have a special right now. If you type in KBG, that's Killer Bee Guy, get it? KBG, ha ha ha. And the number 1 in the coupon thing, you get 20% off your honey order, honey. So go to killerbeeguy.com and, you know, check out all the rest of the vids and all that shit. It's just, we do swear like sailors in bee suits, so don't let the kids watch. And, yeah, we're at about the 85% level. We're at about the 95% level now. Looking really good. Really made it safe here. Yeah, awesome stuff, huh? Wow. Now, we are doing premiere videos every Friday on YouTube at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And that is when we are on the live chat with Hosh and Westward and I. And, you know, live chatting with you guys while whichever video is up is premiering, which they're all awesome. We have some really hairy ones coming up, holy God. And some of them from older stock, older footage that might be a few years old that has not been released yet, but was one of those holy shit moments, right, everyone? So stick with us. The flowers are just coming out, all of the fruit trees. It's like going to be in 70 degrees today. And we're going to have wildflowers like we haven't seen in 30 years here because we had such a wet winter. Very excited about that. So stick with us. You guys are going to get sick of us. You're going to be with us all summer long. We're going to have job after job, and it's going to be exciting as hell. It's the weirdest thing that we do. Anyway, we love you guys. Hosh, you gonna, with the price of gas, you gonna ride that to work? Yep, there he goes. I knew it. Look at that. Jeez, I cried out loud. How do you start it? Anyway. All right, guys. We love you guys. we're going to sign off. Say goodbye, Hosh.
All right, bye everybody. Listen, if you got a big old ball of bees in your soffit, call an exterminator. Don't mess around with these things. Killer bees are in all the lower 48 states. Relocation, in any scenario, it's like Russian roulette. Don't even mess around with them. Just get rid of them. Honeybees are not the answer. We save our native pollinators and get rid of these guys. Later.
Okay, later, guys. We love you. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.